Yes, as the intro suggests, this will be the first premium video of this channel. Yes, and this is gonna be a deck profile on my favorite clan, DP. And so, this is a different build. This is obviously a more Daikaiser this is a more D-Robo orientated build. Not really so Daikaiser, but Daikaiser is one of the main win cons that you can go into. And so yeah, this is a more durable oriented build of the premium deck, and so I'll be going through it today. Alright, so I'll start with this is the starter, being the original Goisha. And so his effect has a 4-runner effect, and his second effect is basically soul in 4 durables. If you're on grade 2 or grade 3, you can search a deck for up to 1 grade 3 durable Vanguard durable card and ride it as your Vanguard. And so yeah, that's basically his effect. He basically just lets you if you're going first, he basically lets you accelerate. You can basically just be Azo and just go accelerate. Like you put 4 D-Robos into your soul, and then you go into Dieliner on your turn 2, and then you can use Dieliner effect to counter +1 soul +1 and add a grade 3. And attack for this is going to be 33 3 crit. And so yeah, you can do that all on turn 2, which is pretty cool. The other use that you use him for is basically to actually break ride into Daikaiser. And so you usually just ride Daikaiser manually, and then you call down your D-Robos, and then you soul all of them in, right? You soul all of them in, and then you search your deck for your Dieliner and you break ride. But of course, do remember that you do need to have limit break to activate this. And so yeah, you have 2 purposes for Goisha. And so usually when you're going first, you usually just want to accelerate into Dieliner and just do your normal DP shenanigans and not so much of the Daikaiser stuff. Whereas if you go second, you actually want to have this hanging around. Maybe you ride Daikaiser and go into Geomaglas, or you just ride Dieliner and then ride Daikaiser on the next turn, and then just use your Goisha and break ride. And so that's Goisha. That's basically what we use him for. It's not as, it doesn't plus as much as the V series starter, of course, but he is very good utility card for the main win con of this deck. So yeah. So in our grade 3s, we play 4 of the best grade 3. Okay, maybe not the best grade 3, because I mean that spot is reserved for Daikaiser, right? But if Daikaiser wasn't a thing, this is the best grade 3. Alright, it's the best grade 3, known as Dimensional Robo Dieliner. And so Dieliner's effect, his first effect is basically a defensive effect where all your grade 3s gets plus 10k shield, and then the second effect is basically what you use when you're going first, which is once per turn counter +1 soul +1. Look at the top 7 cards and add any normal unit, but if it is a grade 3, this unit pluses 20k and 1 crit. And so that's literally what you do with him. If you're going first, of course, you use your Goisha, accelerate, go into him. When your opponent's on grade 1, you swing for 33 3 crit, and of course they can use their Heal Guardian, but if they use their Heal Guardian, they're missing out one card, one heal rather, for their G guards, and so that is really good. That's pretty good, right? And so they can use their Heal Guardian. You can -2 crit off of you. Doesn't even matter, because you get to this skill. You get to get 1 card in your hand. You don't even actually really have to get a grade 3, but obviously getting a grade 3 means extra pressure, and the extra pressure really good. And this guy is mainly run in this deck literally just because of his second skill, because with this with Mr. Dieliner and Geomaglas, your grade 3 shield just gets epic. It gets so big. It just scales up as the game progresses. And so yeah, this guy's definitely a lad. We need him. We need this boy in all DP decks, in all DP premium decks. And so yes, the next card, the cheese roll. It's him himself, not the V version, but the OG Daikaiser. So yeah, Daikaiser skill, if you didn't already know, limit break 4, break ride, counter +1, the ridden unit pluses 10k at 1 crit and gets the break ride effect. That not the break right effect, the guard break effect, which is that if you sack a grade 3, you can, if you sack a grade 3 during a dry check, you can kill one of your opponent's guardians and nullify a PG effect from that killed guardian. And so yeah, that's literally what you use him for. His second skill that passes 2k doesn't really matter. You don't really use it unless you boost him with Goisha, then okay, it's an 18k attacker. But usually you don't really want to ride him. You just want to ride up with your Dieliner will do, because Dieliner is a way better ride, right? But sometimes you do just want to ride into him so that you just want to, you know, if you let's just say you want to like not take so much damage, because you know maybe you have bad hand cards or whatever. You just ride him, and then when your opponent just sees this card, they'll be like, oh no, I'm not gonna put him to 4 damage. There's no way I'm gonna give him limit break. And so yeah, that's literally just how you kind of survive if you ride into him, more or less, and then you can just go into Geomaglas and you get 2 extra cards. But usually you just use him just to break ride or go into Daikaza Leon, and so yeah. But I do want to say, as a rearguard, this guy is with Geomaglas is probably going to be like 20, 21, not 23 like the other 13k rearguards. And so yeah, this doesn't hit Vanguard numbers on its own, but for what he does is it's just so good, right? It's just the ultimate cheese. And we play so much D-Robo in this deck that you can really pull off the Goisha effect anytime, seriously. Anything else to say? Oh yeah, right. You can play the V version, of course, but I decided to just play 2 of the OG and no V versions, because well, the V version is kind of weird because you are color busting one to give a damage that you don't really need to give in premium. And so yeah, and then Canvas is very heavy in this deck as well. So you can play the V version, of course. It's a really cool card. You can basically like pressure your opponent more. But this guy, you get the guard break, right? Yeah, that's all you. He's the big cheese, man. Next is the second best grade 3. Actually no, it's the third best grade 3 in this deck, which is Daisaurus. Now Daisaurus has a Vanguard skill that doesn't really matter. You can read it. However, it's a rearguard skill, which is when he attacks, after he attacks, it can be anything. If your Vanguard's power is 35k or higher, you can cast one, slide him into soul. Your Vanguard passes 10k and 1 drive. And so with this guy, you can power up your X-Gallop into so big drives. If you have 2 of him, you can basically perform a total of 8 drives in the turn. That's crazy, I know. Or rather, you can use him with your Daikaiser, which is, well, yeah, basically there's like 3 wing cons in this deck, more or less, kind of. Daikaiser being 1, X-Gallop being 1, and the other more or less being Final Damage DX, kind of. Not really. That's not really kind of win con, but it's like a game winning card. Yeah, 3 game winning cards, right? And so yeah, he's really good utility card. In your early game, if you really want to use him, you do need to commit more to hit 35k, since after strike you are only at 28k. Yep. Yeah, but the +1 drive is just so good, so good. Must play card. Next is the 2 cards that made DP pretty interesting right now, which is I played the 2 Die Arm. I don't play 4 because 4 is kind of too much. And so his skill is basically Vanguard Rearguard Circle. When placed, if your opponent's hand size is 10 or greater, your whole front row plus is 30k. And so basically you can actually use this during first strike X Gallop, right? However, I don't think like, if you first try X Gallop, your opponent's not really gonna have 10 hand cards, but if they do, good. You just drop 2 or drop 1 of them, and then you can basically restand X Gallop as first strike. Especially after you accelerate with your Goisha, that you can like turn 3 strike, right? Because of riding grade 3. And so yeah. So this guy is it's a really good card. Like at times where your opponent just has too much hand cards, you just be like, alright, they're all gonna die. They're all gonna disappear. Just drop him, your whole front row passes 30k. Especially on the X-Gallop, it's really cool, right? Yeah. Next is the 2 grade 3 techs that I play. That is the worm guy. I completely forgotten his name, but never mind, he's gonna pop out on screen anyways. So he has a Vanguard effect. You don't really care about his Vanguard effect, but if you do ride him, sure, right? Rather his rearguard effect, which is when your Vanguard is being attacked, you can soul plus 1 and move up to 2 cards from your field to the Guardian Circle, and that's really, really good, especially since you do call cards. You don't draw as much as call in this deck. And so usually when you call like stuff, you can just call this and call a PG, right? Where's our PG? Right here. Yeah, you can just like call a PG, right? During your opponent's turn, when your Vanguard is being attacked, you can soul plus 1 and then use this effect, call the PG to Guardian Circle, and then use the PG effect, discard 1 card from your hand, and you got a PG from field. And this card literally gets over all guard restricts. Yeah, like guard restrict from hand, like, you know, Morfessa. You can get over, can do like basically battle with all fighter effects, right? That require like, oh, guard 2 from hand, guard 3 from hand, Crystal Luster, yeah. And so yeah, this guy really does help. It's really cool as well, and you basically just have more guarding options when you just have this guy. And so yeah, I play him, and so we play a total of 14 grade 3s. And so yep, moving on to the grade 2s. I do want to mention that the grade 2s are not so much attackers but more of like utility cards, I guess. So yes, this is our main right grade 2, which is the Die Dumper. Die Dumper has a skill, has a Die Liner skill for his first effect, which is literally the main reason why I run him, which is to give your grade 3s plus 10k shield. His second effect is on Rearguard Circle. When he attacks, plus 10k, but at the end of the battle, you retire him. And so yeah, this guy is cool. This guy is cool because if you're going second, most likely than not, you're not going to be using your Goisha just yet, right? And so you're just gonna sit on your grade 2 instead of accelerate. And so you're just gonna sit on him, and then you're gonna have the early Die Liner skill, even though you're not on Die Liner yet. And so that's pretty cool. It's really, really cool. Like, especially since if you break and you draw a lot of grade 2s, like, oh man, I can't. You know, they're all 0k shields. Ride him, and they're all 10k shields now. And so yeah. You don't really care for his rearguard effect. You only use it when you really do need to round up to a 20k, 30k, whatever, right? And so yeah, so I play 4 of him because it's an awesome right target when you're going second. Now, these 4 grade 2s, I'll just be laying them out because they're just all utility cards, more or less. 1 Die Dragon, 1 Die Jet, and 2 Die Ballast. And so I'll first go to Die Dragon. So Die Dragon has a skill, Vanguard Rearguard Circle once per turn, so plus 1, and your Vanguard passes 5k. And his second skill is basically continuous. If your Vanguard is 35k or higher, this guy becomes a 20k base. Basically plus 10k base. I mean, plus 10k, not the base. So you really play him just so you get to soul plus 1 plus 5k to your Vanguard, and that's really, really all you play him for. If you somehow can't find him, you don't want to play him, you can play Gale Sludge, but the thing is that you do want to have more D Robos in this deck, so Gale Sludge is not that welcomed. And if Gale Sludge were to be played, he'll be played instead of Die Ballast, but Die Ballast is basically the D Robo version of Gale Sludge. And so yeah, you play him just for the plus 5k because that's pretty cool, and you get Big Soul from Goisha anyways. And so next card is Die Jet. Now Die Jet is act once per turn, GB1. If you don't know what GB1 is, basically for the amount of face up units you have. Return 1 grade 3 dimensional robo from your drop zone into your deck. Your Vanguard passes 4k. Oh wait, no. Or rather, choose one of your Vanguards. It passes 4k, and then gets the effect counter plus 1. When this unit hits, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw 1 card. And so basically, this guy basically just helps your Daikaiser turn. That's literally the reason why you play him. It's because if you're playing Daikaiser, you need to play this guy. That's all. And then also something cool that I do want to say is that if you, like, let's say you have this, right, maybe a Die Dumper, have a Die Liner, whatever, you guard with your grade 3. Next turn you can drop, if you ever draw into this, right, you can drop this, use this, when you strike, use his skill, you return that grade 3 that you guarded with back into the deck, and so you don't really feel sad about, you know, getting rid of that 1 grade 3 that you wanted to have. Like, let's say like you guarded with a Dizoras, because that was the only 10k you had in your hand or whatever. You can add it back to hand, and then you can potentially call it off of your Geomagas as well. So yeah, this guy is pretty cool, and you usually just use him just to, you know, help your guard break. Now next we play 2 Diabolus. Diabolus skill is basically when placed, hold on, we can get a clearer view, there you go. When placed on your guard circle, give your Vanguard the effect, when this unit attacks, counter +1, draw 1 card. And so yeah, it's basically an actual like counter +1, draw 1, whereas Gale Sludge is not too reliable. But honestly, I feel like Gale Sludge is better, right? But this guy basically just fills in the role that, you know, Gale Sludge doesn't, because we're playing more durable, so we don't have space for Gale Sludge, so that's why I play him. And also with all these 9Ks, if you want to damage deny for whatever reason, yeah, you can just sit on the 9K attack, and then with a no boost Goisha, so that you can put trigger effects on the Goisha instead of your Vanguard when you're damage 9. So yeah, this guy's pretty cool, and sometimes you do want to dig for pieces anyways. And this deck's draw power isn't really that big either. So going into great ones, we play the 3 Die Brave, and so Die Brave skill is basically first skill is basically the same as Die Dragon, which is slow +1, your Vanguard passes 5k, right? And then he also has a rearguard skill, which is basically when your Vanguard attack hits, you can soul him in and draw 1 card. And so basically he fills your soul. That's one cool thing. Now the reason why I'm playing him instead of playing Die Prop is because getting back Die Prop, getting back grade 3s from your hand is not very ideal. Although it helps, it's not that good. That's why I don't play Die Prop. But yeah, and then Die Prop and Die Brave's Soba skill is basically more or less the same, because you don't really stack force markers in a premium deck anyways. And so yeah, that's why I play Die Brave, and Die Brave is really good art anyways. So, yep, Die Brave. And the next we play the 3 Laurel. Yes, the boy himself, Laurel. Of course, how can I ever forget him? So Laurel has a skill where it's basically just once per turn, act, counter +1, rest 4 rearguards, and double your Vanguard's power and give it a crit. And so yeah, this basically helps X-Gallop numbers. If you're going first turn X-Gallop, if your opponent for some reason gives you that much damage. And so yeah, that basically just helps. He basically just helps power up your Vanguard to insane numbers basically, and also mainly because he gives a crit, because like the crit it's really helpful. I'm not gonna lie, like the crit, it helps so much. Like even though it's not like, you know, the Brangate Overtrigger where it doubles up real critical, +1 crit is already good enough, right? +1 crit is already good enough. Now next we play 2 Go Biker. So Go Biker skill is basically when placed, you can rest him, give one of your Vanguards plus 10k, and if your Vanguard's a grade 3, you can restand this guy. And so why Go Biker? Because you do break right in this deck, right? And so sometimes you can, oh, I just want an extra 10k, I don't know, for whatever reason, right? Let's say you just miss right into like you miss break right into maybe a Dizaurus or whatever. You call Go Biker, rest Go Biker, plus 10k to your Vanguard, and restand him. And so yeah, and then you can restand him and then additionally use your Laurel. And so yeah, this guy is pretty cool. It's really cool. At least for D-Robo, it's basically just your replacement for Twin Order, right? Because Twin Order in premium only gives you 10k. And next, 1 Dijacker. Dijacker skill. Hold on. Dijacker skill is basically when your Vanguard after this card attacked a Vanguard, you can retire him and give one of your Vanguards +1 crit. You play him just for the crit. Let's be honest. Like, we just play him just for the crit because Laurel gives the crit, but Laurel needs to rest 4 rearguards, whereas he doesn't. So that's why I play him. And his timing is also pretty awkward as well. That's why we don't really want to play him. Next is the Die Mariner. Die Mariner skill is really when placed, so +1, and when your opponent would guard against your Vanguard attack, they must drop 2 or more cards to Guardian Circle from hand. So that's really good against an Exile that can withstand, and against any card really. Just yeah, because your opponent's always gonna PG your Vanguard anyways, because of insane numbers. Next is the PG Grand Monk. We're not playing the Enigma PG, but instead we're playing Grand Monk. Why? Because I'm just gonna pop him up right here, right? But basically, just to sum it up, Grand Monk is a free PG, and then he can also give 6 of your units resist from drop zone, and that is really good against Kagero's Denial Griffin and Skeleton's Cannoneer. And so yep, that's why he's really cool. I prefer him than the Enigma PG. So yeah. Next trigger lineup. Yeah, we're onto the triggers already. The Cray Elemental over trigger. Then we have, hold on, I'm struggling here. 7 crits. Hold on, I'm trying to showcase the crits here. 7 crits, right? And then 4 draws, and then 4 normal heals, not the heal guardians. Let's start with the heals, right? Why do you play normal heals? The normal heals is because they are the D-Robo name. Having the D-Robo names means Goyusha can benefit off of them, and you really just sometimes just draw into 2 heals and you're like, I guess I have to Goyusha because I'm going first, right? It gives me a lot of advantage. So you just call, and then whatever D-Robo, and you soul it in, and so yeah, sometimes you do need the heals. So yes, heals is a must. Next, draws are good. Draw PGs are good. So yep. Crits. Now this is kind of interesting. I played 3 Strike Horror crit because Strike Horror crit is always good. I played 1 Worm crit because the Worm Goddess. Whoa, this Worm is awesome. You get to draw 1 and power up your Vanguard, and also give you soul as well. And then the 3 vanilla crits. Why? Because D-Robo name is exactly why we play this guy. It's because you can drop him for Goisha. That's all. And next, Cray Elemental Overtrigger. Why do we play Cray Elemental Overtrigger when the Brangate Overtrigger can literally send our opponent to 6 damage with Die Liner? Because I don't want to kill my opponent that easily, because it's not that fun. Either that, or just I like the extra 200,000 million power. So yep, Cray Elemental Overtrigger is still good. Play it if you're on a budget for overtriggers, because overtriggers are kind of expensive, not really. And so yeah, moving on to the G zone. Okay, first off, I just want to emphasize first off, we go Force 2, alright? We go Force 2 in this deck. In the G zone, of course, we have the one and only Geomaglas that made this deck so good. Like, him and Die Liner carried DP all the way. Like, I confess I was one of those people who thought that this card was bad, but oh god, this card is so good. I really like him now, and especially like the art as well. Like damn, that art is really cool. It's really cool. Okay, stop. Skill is basically his first skill is continuous Vanguard or G zone. When your all your great deeds on your rearguard circle or guardian circle gets hold on, just get the focus there. It gets power plus 5k and shield plus 5k as well. And so yep, that's mainly his thing. But then he also has a Vanguard skill, which is basically when he attacks, call plus 1, flip out 1 G unit, any G unit. And then look at the top 7, call 2 cards from that top 7 to rearguard circle. And then for every grade 3 you have on your field, this guy pluses 1 extra crit. And so usually, usually this guy is gonna be like 4 crit, because you like sometimes after you go Yusha you don't have enough, you have very little cards in hand, right? So you just strike, attack, use the skill, call 2, and then you become 4 crit 28. And then your opponent will more or less just PG this or like G guard this and like maybe like 3 to pass you. Mainly because this is just like 28 is not big obviously, but because this is swinging for 4 crit, they will definitely do that, alright? They'll just definitely do that. And this guy carries the deck just for his first skill. His first continuous skill is so good. It's so good, so good. Yeah, you just power all your great deeds. They're all tanky, beefy stuff. even your Dai Kaiser, right? Yeah, I don't know what to say about this guy. This guy is just so good. Like, he's gonna stay staple for years to come until something bombastic happens. Then, well, I guess not then. But for now, and for years to come, he'll forever be a staple. And so, now the 2-off, the best 2-off, Dai Kaiser Leon, right? Okay, so his effect it's basically act on Vanguard once per turn, GB2. Yes, you need to G-guard first before if you want to first try him. Counterblast 1, flip, basically persona flip, and then you basically get the break right effect. Not break right effect, the guard break effect from Dai Kaiser. And so basically, reveal a great 3, you can kill a guardian. And so going to this, you hold on, where's the focus? Okay, there you go. You would of course want a force 2 behind this guy, because if you don't, your opponent's probably just gonna take the attack, and then whether you crit or not crit, it doesn't even matter. So having the force 2 and using a laurel on him is also pretty good. And so then you'll probably attack for like 50, 56, something like that. I haven't done any calculation on this. So maybe 56, maybe I don't know. But it's about there if you do a laurel. But if you choose not to laurel and use Daizoras, you basically just get like 4 drive, literally 4 drive and 56. Let's just say 3 crit. Your opponent will definitely like PG twice if they even have 3 PGs, but basically PG twice. And so like, oh, but sometimes like your opponent just won't even guard because like they don't even have it. Like they're too afraid, because like you just, you know, use your Dijet, you return back a grade 3, and they're like, oh no, that grade 3, no. Yeah, they might just give up and die to your awesome charismatic Dai Kaiser Leon. And so yep, he's awesome. Next, I play 1 X Gallop, and this is in English because well, I just can't find the Japanese one. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I want a Japanese revival collection soon, like please. And so I don't think I need to pop up anything, and so I'm just gonna, you know, let you read the effect from the screen itself. And so basically, burst Vanguard circle once per turn, counterblast 1, flip up any card, and then when he attacks, if it's 4k or greater, 40k or greater, he plus 1 drive, and then if it's, and then at the end of the battle, if he's 80k or greater, stand it and it minus 4 drive. And then his GB3 skill is basically for he plus 10k for every face up G unit. And so yep, this guy is pretty cool. You basically use him as like, I guess a mid-late game card if he's not a win con, but if you want to use him to finish off games, of course you obviously you use him to finish off games. And so what you can do with him, that's very commonly done, you call this, and so what you do, you don't need to laurel, you just go attack, Solin plus 10k 1 drive, attack, Solin plus 10k 1 drive, and you're gonna attack for 6 drives and massive power, of course. And then when you restand with him, you're gonna attack with 2 drives, and basically a total of 8 cards will be added into your deck. Like that. Add it into your hand, and that's fine. Daizoras is crazy strong. And so yeah, that's X Gallop. You use him just to get hand cards sometimes when you just don't have enough hand, more or less. That's when you use X Gallop. So yep, X Gallop is a must play card, of course. But if you can't find him, you can't afford him or whatever, something like that, then you can choose these cards instead, which is I play 2 Final Dimax DX. Now, his effect is basically, hold on, there you go. His effect is basically, when he attacks, you flip out 1 G unit and put any number of rest regards into your soul. Look at the top 7 and call as many cards as the face-up amount of G units you have on your G zone by power order, which is like, yeah, by order of power, like from highest power to lowest power. And then if you soul in 4 cards during his, when you soul in his effect, all your units gets power plus 10k on 1 crit. And so me explaining it like that makes it kinda confusing, but honestly it's just a card that lets you multi-attack, and it's a early GB8 guy. It's just, you know, your GB8 man, yeah, the GB8 bro, but it's not your GB8 bro, it's a better GB8 bro on early game. And so yeah, he's really cool. He's a golden Dimax. Like, how could you not resist the golden Dimax, man? Like, Dimax was cool for what he is, right? I feel sad not playing him, but this is the gold Dimax that can multi-attack and basically finish off your opponent because of many 2 crit attacks. I did play a variant with Miracle Beauty that basically restands itself. So what you will do is just strike into this, attack, and then you call 2 Miracle Beauties, and then your Miracle Beauty attack, restand, attack. So yeah, that's really cool. You can do lots of with him. Next, 1x Tiger. This is a tech card, of course. In the G zone, is a tech card. You can play Star, you can play the Progenitor Dragon, whatever the crap, right? But the reason why I play him, his simple skill is basically just when he attacks flip up 1, and he gains 4k for every flip up G units on your G zone, and if he's 45k or greater, he pluses 1 crit. Why do you play him? It's because after your Daikai turn, chances are your opponent is probably not gonna have a PG, and you're probably gonna be out of counterblast. And so what you do is just strike into him, and then you're gonna attack for 3 crit and big power, and then your opponent's just gonna die, right? Your opponent's just gonna die. And so yeah, that's like the one reason why you play him. That's that. Next, of course, GB8 boy. So GB8 boy. Yep, right. His skill is basically when he attacks, for the amount of rear guards you have, he pluses 10k and 1 crit, and if he's 80k or greater, all of your rear guards plus 10k power for the amount of crits he have. If I'm correct, that is his effect. I never really gone into him because he's not that good. Because honestly, your final Dimax DX kind of does a little more. But honestly, to finish off games, this guy is really good anyways. And also, if you do want to play Miracle Beauty, yes, you can play Miracle Beauty with this combo. You're gonna swing like for like 260k columns. And so yeah, if Overtrigger doesn't kill them, yeah, this sure does. So for my G guard lineup, Atlantis Dolphin, X Caribou, 2 Geo5, and 1 Zeo. And so let's just start off with Zeo. Zeo first, right? So Zeo has the effect Soul Blast 1. When this is placed on your Guardian Circle, choose one of your opponent's units minus 5k until the end of the battle, not turn. And then you can counterblast 1 and give one of your Vanguards plus 5k until the end of the turn. So you basically get to sit on the 18k body. So that's really good. It's really cool if you want to tank on even more than what your Great 3s already have. So yeah, he's pretty cool for that. Next is the Geo5. And so Geo5 basically Soul Blast 1. So you need to Soul Blast a 5k or greater rear guard, and so you cannot Soul Blast out the effect triggers. And then so basically he pluses 10k shield, and then if you took a damage this turn, he becomes a 30k shield. And so that's really cool. He's really cool because he's like probably usually he's gonna be pretty big, like as big as him if you don't have it. You don't have a lot of rear guards, so that's gonna be 30k shield with 1 Soul Blast, and that's pretty cool. So I play 2, very accessible. Next is 1 X Caribou. X Caribou basically just says when this guy is placed on Guardian Circle, if the attack that this guy is guarding is 30k or greater, he pluses 10k, and so yeah, it's gonna be a 25k guard. And then the second part of the skill you don't really want to use, because unless you're like, I don't know, you really want to tank for that number, you don't really want to do this. You never really want to do this, which is basically discard 1 card from your hand and your Vanguard passes 4k until the end of the turn. And so why is this not good? It's because it doesn't hit magic numbers. It's not 18k, it's 17k, and 17k is not good. And then finally we have Atlantis Dolphin. And so Atlantis Dolphin basically just says GB1, flip out 1 G guard. When this is placed on Guardian Circle, he passes 5k for every rear guard you have. Right, and then if he's 30k or greater shield, you can counter charge one and soul charge one, and this is the only way you can counter charge in this deck. So that is very sad. But I don't really want to play any one of the Grand Gallop cards because like I only play one copy of X Gallop anyways. So like you don't really want to play that card, right? And we also want D Robo cards in our deck. And so that's why this is our only way of counter charging. So you really want to cherish this. And also you want to make sure that you get the rear guards when you want to counter charge, right? So yep. And so yeah, that is the deck profile, and I think I've gone long enough for me to even have a options part of my video or a mulligan. But basically for the mulligan, you just want to get D Robos in hand if you're going first, and you want to ideally get a grade 2 and your grade 3 die liner if you're going second, because going second you don't really want to use your Goisha. However, if you're going first, you do want to use your Goisha to accelerate, right? And so yeah. So this deck is basically just has a side win con, which is the Die Kaiser win con. It's basically the same as your regular DP premium deck, but it has the Die Kaiser inherited skill, right? And so yeah, that's the deck profile. I'll see you guys next time.